Hamburger.
E-burger.
Just put an X instead of fail.
We could
Chocolate chip cookie.
talk about cereal again for half an hour.
Oh, don't get me started. It
I
sounds
was-
so good right now.
I was in the
Dang.
grocery store in the cereal section staring at it for a good
God
couple
damn it.
minutes.
I hope you
By
know.
saying we shouldn't talk about it, we are talking about
The
it.
fact that we discussed cereal, I ended up eating a whole bag of granola.
Welcome to Kingmaker Session 20, the prophecy of cereal.
I want cereal.
Maybe you'll get some later, if you're good.
No.
But guess what? We're out of milk.
No, I actually have a lot of milk. My bones are healthy.
Welcome to Session 20. Last time, which seems like 84 years ago, so you're going to have to help me remember what happened. It was after we had already defeated the Stag Lord. Bon started feeling bad after eating the heart and was possessed briefly by the shadow itself. None of you took a good liking to that because it seemed like the shadow was, overstepping the bounds of what Bon might have wanted.
Yeah.
But afterwards, we kind of talked about how Bon welcomes this more or less, and we found out that Tristan was a part of this kind of group that was trying to help push you guys along. There's a lot of questions that came up. In addition to that, Solomon was sent a message by Tartuccio to come meet him outside of the camp alone.
Burn the bridge.
And when we went there, we found that the Stag Lord's right-hand man was killed. Tartuccio was definitely not acting himself, and you kind of just left him there in his stupor when a bunch of zombies fell down from the cliffside and were coming after him. You burned the bridge and left him there. Who knows if he lived or not? We don't know. We didn't get any sort of flashback or anything. So we were left with a lot of questions as to what the fuck is going on. But you guys did what you set out to do. At least your first charge was to defeat the Stag Lord and free part of the stolen lands from the grip of the bandits. So, with all that being done, you guys are starting to make your way back to Restov so that you can find out what happens next. But if we go to the stolen lands, I want to talk to you guys about how exactly you want to make your way back to Restov.
We follow the river. We swim upriver. No.
You could follow the river, given that you haven't really explored some of those lower sections.
Well, you might want to go back to Oleg's and tell them that Ding Dong the bitch is dead. Yeah, let's go straight back to Restov and then never fucking tell them so they can just constantly live on that state of... It's
How
a failed
annoying.
side quest.
Is there anything specific you wanted to roleplay at Oleg's at all? You do want to go and tell them, of course.
Or
In general,
I don't have anything, but I don't know if anybody else has anything. Like Yilva boasting a story about killing the Stag Lord to Amiri.
Amiri.
I didn't kill him though.
Okay then. Does Bond have anything to say to Valerie? If we get there?
Bilba's not in a good mood right now anyway, so she would
That's
be.
fair.
She's not in the mood for boasting.
I'll send you guys back there briefly.
It doesn't seem like anyone has anything particular roleplay back there besides being like, "Hey, the Stag Lord's dead."
Yeah, I mean they welcome that, and the rest of them are kind of just. The word kind of travels fast, especially when Svetlana went back. She was at least able to tell them that you were in that direction, that she was safe, and everyone had a pretty good feeling that you were going to accomplish that. So the confirmation of that just kind of gives a huge relief to them, knowing that they don't have to worry about being extorted for all of the things that they're trying to make.
You're saying they had faith in us? How cute.
Hey, Lindsay sang your praises. Valerie trusted you as well, and Amiri, knowing Ilva, knew that you could accomplish any of those things. You did develop a trust in some of these people. They are following you, and they believe in your cause, more or less, knowing that you're good people.
Is Tristan sticking with us?
Tristan right now is with the group.
Okay. Because I remembered that he's carrying something for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
we get back to Oleg's, and then we go back to Rostov. Are the rest of the crew also going to follow us, the Miriam of them?
They'll probably be following. Some of them, may have other things they want to do along the way, but they'll be headed back in that direction because they want to be part of the group that is, helping to establish this land. They all do want to stick around, including Akundayo, even though despite, still being distrustful with all of you.
That's fair. I saw that, Blue!
What was that?
That was Blue quickly joining.
Not even realizing what we were doing.
No, I'm pretty sure she
Probably.
did that on purpose, because there's the goose sound.
Quack. I do, though, want to ask, on this journey back to Restov, which will probably take you about a week's time, especially since you're not, pressed for time, how would you guys be spending your days? Like, are you searching for things? Are you just kind of writing things down? Are you surveying the area? Are you looking for hunts? Like, what kinds of things are you doing?
Hunting.
I'll join Ilva with surveying the area while she hunts.
Yes, Tristan's with the party.
Yeah, that fucking creep.
About what's been happening. Okay. How would Yoshimitsu be spending their time?
He's going to spend a lot of time meditating, and he is a lot of the time meditating with the sword. From the most part, trying mumbling things under his breath that is in one of the languages none of you understand. As I attempt to roleplay part of one of my feats coming into play. Till eventually I manage to separate one sword into two. Create my twin stars. One sword takes on a full bright white appearance and the other a full black, with their handles being the opposite color. Being yin and yang.
Dark energy, light energy?
Which I named them yin and yang.
Hell yeah. Drink of my foes.
I will also mention that Ilva keeps like a pretty obvious distance from Bon, Olga, and Tristan.
Look, can you identify this? Because this is the fucking helmet.
Is it in your inventory?
Yes.
the one that you guys think is a... What was it? A beaver or a jackal?
The jackal. Jackalope.
Jackalope. That you swore had horns.
Yeah. Also, Hookie? What
Yes.
the fuck is this? Yeah, why do I have this in my inventory?
That was also on the... It was on somebody's inventory. It was on the right-hand man's inventory. I believe. Maybe not. No, it had to be on the Staglord's. Listen, it offers no explanation as to anything else about the Staglord about that. So, we'll have to make up what that means.
Yeah, that was on the Staglord.
Mm-hmm. It literally mentions nothing else about them, so I'd have to make it up. I have ideas, but they're too lore-breaking for me to put into words right now. And what about Olga? How would Olga be spending their time?
I'm really trying to remember what happened, but I do remember negative feelings. Although Olga wouldn't actually say shit. Instead, she's more that whole Fae with the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Dirt thing is gonna just be like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's gonna be more apparent or more out there. I don't remember the word. It's more obvious. There we go. That she's lacking her emotions at the moment. So she's basically like a walking husk with no emotion. It's like if like for example with Ilva, how she's like purposely avoiding or distancing her. There is no reaction within Olga's face. And what happened with Bond? There's just nothing. It's blank. So for most of this trip back, she's gonna be pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Very quiet girl. Unless spoken to.
That car ride home is very awkward, isn't it?
It's like she checked out for sure. Definitely very zoned out, very checked out. Like she's in somewhere else thinking. But that's the vibe I'm gonna go for during the whole trip back.
Solomon and Ilva, can you both give me perception checks since you're out hunting, surveying the area a bit more?
What's in it for me?
New things to fight.
Oh.
Dang.
Love that.
Nah, I rolled a 3. You only rolled a... Oh, we both rolled a 3, actually.
Bon instead. That's alright.
Fuck you. I want to see fun things.
You rolled the exact same number, but it's because of low reroll. So, Solomon, you will notice you haven't gotten really far from the Staglord's fort, but when you guys arrive, following the river at least towards this area, you are going to notice tracks. A lot of them seem to be canine, dog-like, wolves maybe perhaps, but along with the different sets of tracks of wolves, you see a much larger set of tracks as well.
Larger wolf tracks. There's a puppy. Oh. Ilva.
Hmm?
Not to sound insensitive or I guess you share a lot of features with those of a canine origin, correct?
She like squints at you.
More asking, what is your relationship with perhaps wolves?
Uh, hold on, let me pull this up really quick. Because there was something. If I can find it. You'll see like her ears kind of like twitch a little in confusion, and she's just like, wolves are respectable creatures, and I share at least some bloodline with them. I cannot and will not just hunt wolves for sport.
Okay. Well, and Solomon at this point is kind of like picking and checking out a nearby bush or something, and he'll pull it aside, and because there seems to be some sort of canine, at least a large one, in the area, and kind of getting a up close look at it. Is there a like indication of age of like the tracks? Like, do you get a erosion on the prints and whatnot?
It's as if like the ground around the riverbanks is soft because it's muddy. So along those riverbanks you can see the footprints. It might be hard to tell how old they are. This isn't the kind of body of water that has like big tides. But so they've been there for a bit. They go into the woods, but they look like they may be from multiple times. Like they frequent that area often.
Okay. Well. Like when you say a bigger one, what are we talking about? Like just a big wolf, like a timber dire wolf type situation, or like a cool wolf that we could befriend and get us a cool mount steed?
Why don't you both give me, between the two of you, you can give nature checks, and if you want to include anybody else in the conversation, you can.
Oh, there are other people with us?
Like the rest of you are still around, I would assume, close enough that you can include them in the conversation.
I mean, I guess I'd leave it more up to anybody who's wanting to meddle with this or be involved with this now that there's the subject of wolves in the area, so if that catches the interest of anyone.
If anybody wants to try to identify the tracks, they can give me a nature check.
A nature?
Ella kind of like...
All right.
You don't want me doing anything.
like walks over and just like pokes her head over Solomon's shoulder to look at the tracks he's staring at. He's talking about.
Like, they're clearly dogs. I'm just not sure on...
You just think that this dog must have gotten a hold of an enlargement potion, and that must be what's going on here.
Like, I'd say wolf. It's the soundest, conclusion. But we have to, we just really have to, I guess, entertain the theory that maybe somewhere out there, a corgi is living its best life as the king of the mountains.
A giant corgi.
Often Fae were known to ride corgis.
There is a Fae feat that allows them to get a corgi mount.
Blue.
Ilva, you immediately by the tracks themselves, and you catch the scent of wolves, of course, but also what you know to be, sometime hanging out with packs of wolves or in the area that may have more intelligence than a wolf is a warg, or that's how they pronounce it? Varg? Vorg? Warg.
I think.
It's just war.
And yes, you would know that they sometimes, because of their intelligence, they often can speak, they have a lot of cunning. They will lead packs of wolves to help them prey on less intelligent beings.
They hate horses.
Warg?
Or am I thinking of goblins?
Goblins hate...
goblins.
Yeah.
Goblins hate horses.
Goblins hate horses and dogs.
Wargs sometimes also will work with orcs, hobgoblins, if it is a benefit to them. They are territorial, but will kind of respect the territory that men or humanoids can have as well.
Basically just smarter wolves.
Smarter wolves, yes.
Okay.
But likely not something you might want to run into.
Yeah. Hilva kind of tilts her head. She's like, I don't know what a corgi is, but those are warg footprints. And wolves. They sometimes lead wolves because they're smarter than them. So they lead them and prey on lesser creatures.
You have probably encountered wargs before, being in your barbarian tribes. It has been very hit or miss as to how they feel about you, given that you are kind of halfway in between. And sometimes people see that as a betrayal of your kind, and sometimes they see that as a respect thing initially. But I don't know, it's up to you guys how you feel about sticking around to even find out.
Personally, I'd rather not have to fight them, but I don't know how long we are going to be in the area. If we stick around, we will likely run into them. And they're not always happy to see me. Some are nice enough. Others not so much. She kind of turns and looks at the others, although Solomon is AFK right now. She barely spares a passing glance towards Tristan, Bon, and Olga.
You notice also, just looking around the area now, that the wildlife seems to be distinctly kind of out of balance, as if this has been an overly hunted area. You haven't noticed any smaller beings or things that wolves would often hunt, like rabbits, smaller mammals. You haven't seen many of them.
Okay. I don't know what they're hunting, though, I suppose. Most game seems to be absent from the area. And she gets kind of a concerned look on her face, but
Maybe that's
she just says that out loud, not necessarily to anybody. What was that, Hobbs?
I said maybe the game's absent because they've been hunting.
Why would they be hunting so much in one area, though?
I mean, they could be influenced by something bigger. It could be perhaps... What season is it?
I think it's coming out of winter still. Let me see. Actually, let me extend this to the next day.
We're still in spring.
Sunny. Yeah, we're still in spring.
I mean, works.
That could be, a new litter.
Works usually know better.
Maybe this one doesn't.
Tristan may overhear the conversation at a certain point and he'll turn to the rest of the group and say, either way, I'm not sure that we're willing to find out right now. I think we'd all like to get back to rest off in one piece, and maybe we do best to cover our tracks.
I mean, a party of our size probably isn't exactly the ideal choice for them to stalk or make a move on.
Very true.
Well,
but worth noting that in this area, and seems to be that there's something else going on, and maybe worth exploring later on when you come back. Can then you all give me perception checks for the rest of the route back?
I'm killing it. I don't think I've rolled above a 10.
I rolled initiative.
Nice.
You want to fight the warg?
Fighting the...
Absolutely not. Okay, that's supposed to be a 23. I don't know why I didn't add my...
Oh, that's interesting. It
bonus.
just rolled it as like a flat.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a 23. Okay.
Yeah, plus 6.
So then basically everyone but Solomon. Because Solomon is occupied with other things, I guess. Potions, maybe?
I found a
Counting his
cool
money.
stick.
Or
I
a cool
found a
stick.
It could be a perfect gun. Perfect walking stick. It's a good stick.
I'm going to drag you guys up to one other spot that you may notice something interesting. In the bit of a clearing kind of in the valley where the river is cutting through, it was kind of hidden until you came pretty close upon it. It looks like there's a wooden fortification here. From all that you can see from where you're at, it doesn't look like it's occupied. There's no signs of life, no fires, nothing that you can see. But it is a structure that is sound. Like it has besides the other things that you've run into, where they've been all dilapidated and broken down, it does look like it could make a nice structure. Something for you guys to note down as well. You guys have drawing privileges. Maybe we put those things down. So Warg was down here. Are you taking care of it, Hobbs? I see you moving. Are you drawing a little doggy? Yeah.
Oh yes, we're definitely gonna remember what that means in 3 sessions.
I'm sure.
Yeah, seriously.
Including
Oh,
me.
was that the chupacabra we found?
Yes. The one that spoke Swahili and gave you gold.
Arc.
Bon, you and Tristan, during your conversations, although he's excited for the direction that you're going, he keeps mentioning that all will be revealed. Everything is going to be... We'll catch you up to speed soon. but it's just an honor to be in your presence and like very excited to talk to you and like seems to be very different acting than he was at first. Mhm. Definitely. I will remain calm, but just now that we've freed the stolen lands of the Stag Lord, it looks like you and your company will be able to finally establish a settlement here. And you can start by growing your following exactly as you were going to. Seems a little enthusiastic to help, which is maybe strange and off-putting.
Oh. I don't know. Our prostitution plan went pretty well. Maybe it's a sign.
A sign that
Yoshimitsu walks out of his tent, hears that, and walks back into his tent.
Meanwhile,
Oh.
I'm actually over there, vibrating. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, come on, Yoshimitsu. You didn't want to be our our esteemed pimp, little fox.
I'd like to think that he legitimately giggled when you giggled.
What the heck is that
Like
drawing?
he can't keep his face straight.
I couldn't figure out how to make it stop, so it just wound up all over the place.
Yep, that's a house.
That's a
Alright.
portal, all right.
That's definitely a slightly dilapidated house.
I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of it now. Don't worry about it.
It will do that.
Got it.
Maybe we were all destined to be rulers over the concubine kingdom, Tristan says.
Funny when this group
I'm gonna go learn how to fish to get away from this conversation. Grabbing a fishing rod, tackle, fucking leaving.
It's funny that you say that we're destined when apparently you know quite a bit about our destiny, or at least our fate.
Oh, believe you me, all of that still remains very much in your control. You have all the autonomy.
Do we? Because I thought a prophecy meant that it was already foretold.
I'm not sure it always works that way. Even though a prophecy foretells something, does that mean that you're fated to follow that prophecy?
I believe it means that it's either a true or false prophecy. One could be the mumblings of a madman, whereas the other one is perhaps a fated occurrence. So,
But what if that prophecy wasn't finished yet? And then he, like, gives this eye glance as he walks away.
whether or not it's finished yet doesn't mean it hasn't decreed a certain event to happen.
We'll figure it out soon enough, Solomon. I can't say anything else, even though I'm bursting to do so.
You can.
I think you'll see that I can't.
Would you die?
I don't know if I would die.
We'll make it so that you can't.
You have tongue to speak and you have wits about you still.
I promised everyone else that I wouldn't say anything.
Hmm. One of those. There's a spoon.
As you continue on, you reach back to Nivakta's crossing, where, as you recall, Magar Varn is striking out into the stolen lands.
Is he still here? Is he here?
They're still in this area, but Magar himself doesn't seem to be at this crossing. Some of his followers and other people are kind of bustling around town at Nivakta's crossing. I don't know how to say that. Nivaktas. And you see groups of different humans, gnomes, dwarves, all getting kind of ready, getting materials together, and getting prepared to leave town to go southward.
Varn seems well established.
If you're listening to their conversations, I don't know, are you? If you want to perceive their conversations, you can, or walk up to them and talk to them.
I'd listen at first.
What did you say?
I'd listen at first.
Okay. You'd hear talk of people talking about the Kiravoy Bridge and how they're trying to build it so that they can establish a trade route into Varnhold.
Varnhold. Is that an established place beforehand, or is that a recent development from what we can...
From what you can gather, seeing that there's a bunch of people with supplies, building materials, and they're talking about the new establishment, the new city, the new settlement that's being founded there. This is more people that are usually at Navatka's crossing, because usually there's only like 200 people there, but there's probably maybe about
plus the 200
500 or
usually.
so. Yeah.
This village has 110 people in it.
Yeah, it says 140.
140.
There's 110
Whatever the fuck
humans.
the 5 others are.
I don't know. But anyway, you see that this number is swollen to far over maybe 300 or even 400. Most of them look to be different types of people, settlers of other kinds, merchants, families that are trying to get a new start. And they're talking about a village and the handsome leader that has named himself mayor, Magar Varn himself. You would assume, considering it's called Varnhold.
He needs to pick a better fucking name for his place.
You do see some younger kids kind of rolling their eyes and talking about it and being like, did he really have to name it after himself? He's like the cockiest person ever.
Bitch, you were gonna say bitch.
Boy
Cockiest little
named
bitch
after
ever.
the same person that founded it.
Yes.
Yeah, but nobody remembers that anymore. This is like recent.
You also hear
them after any of us.
whispers and rumors, if you do get to talking to some people, that Magar may not have made the best of impressions with the centaurs that are in this region.
Oh, marvelous.
And seems to have taken upon himself to establish a settlement without really talking to them about it. That comes mostly from people you are kind of familiar seeing. Some of the guards that he had with him. There's grumblings from them that they're not sure if they're going to meet any resistance from the Noman centaurs. But if you hear them speaking to any of the families and merchants, they're all kinds of happy face. Like, everything's going to be great. This is going to be a new opportunity for everyone. We're going to establish ourselves in the mountains. It's going to be a place of freedom for everyone to do what they'd like and make a new name for themselves.
Definitely doomed.
I mean, if Varn is half the man he claims to be, he'll be able to.
What? Murder all the centaurs who were here first?
More have come to reach an agreement with them.
He didn't bother the first time.
Yeah, well, I don't know what else to say. Varn doesn't seem the kind of person to go into full genocide mode.
I guess we'll see.
Oi, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. You know Magar. Just a guard that comes up to you.
We've briefly spoken.
Ah, yes, I think I remember your group. You were all at Restov. Nasty thing that happened that night.
Oh, mouth kind of twitches, but she doesn't say anything.
I don't think that we have to worry about the centaurs too much. We made it clear that we would steer clear of the burial grounds that they have nearby. We respected that line and took closer to the mountains. They're nowhere near us.
Well, let's hope there's no other ancient burial grounds over there.
And how long will it be before you need to expand? And before that promise is forgotten and you stretch into their burial grounds anyway?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm just a guard here. I'm not the one that makes any of those decisions.
Sir, you might want to quit while you're ahead.
He's offering me a lot more money than they did at Restov. That's for sure. Well, promises it. He said that once we, find the materials that are obviously in the mountains, we'll strike it rich. And we'll be rivaling Restov before we can... Before we know it.
Throwing your life away on idle promises.
And what is it that you're doing out here? Aren't you all trying to strike off?
Without idle promises?
I didn't come here to get rich, if that's what you're trying to suggest.
I mean, we're also attempting to do what Varn is doing, but not by
We are?
pissing off centaurs.
Ilva just looks at you and goes, we are?
Well, yes, we're out here to establish a settlement. That's what we took
She
out
looks
the
like
stag.
this is news to her.
Can you read? Did you not read the thing?
I cannot read.
Oh, honey.
Don't call me that.
Oh. Well, I'll teach you how to read.
Why?
It's kind of an important skill.
Why? I can read a map.
The guard's just looking back and forth between the two.
You can learn how to read words that aren't on a map, on a different piece of parchment, because it might be useful.
Why?
Something tells me I made the right choice to back Varn.
You might want to leave before you make your situation worse.
We'll see about that.
She looks at him.
No, I'm talking about your life situation.
Yeah, Ilva looks at him. Her ears are still straight forward rather than back in like a threatening
Oh, well,
way.
you still have your jugular in one piece.
Like she looks straight at him with her one eye wide open. You know, her face covered in scars. The scar across her neck where somebody tried to behead her in the past.
He puts his hand to his neck and just like, all right, fine, touchy. Walks away from you guys and starts to pack up and help other civilians make their way south.
There's a wonderful world of stories out there, Yelva, that you can read.
Why?
Do you not like stories?
Stories in my tribe were always passed down orally. Why do you need to write them down?
Because we don't do things orally over down here.
Nah. Not what your mom said.
Why don't you go find Varn and something orally?
Well, from the looks of it, he's not here. Or else I would gladly make use of some oral traditions.
Christian tucks his hair behind his ears in a knowing way.
Puts his hair up.
Oh, I get it. It's a sex joke. Duh.
There it is.
Duh.
The sex
I'm gonna
worker
continue
gets the
down the
sex
road.
joke. That's the
get
first time
it.
I've heard you laugh in a while, Olga.
Yeah, it was funny.
Mhm. See? At least someone appreciates my comedy.
It's funny because sex joke. And I continue to walk.
What's this?
Olga, I have a question for you too.
Huh?
Do you know how to read?
No.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna teach you too then.
I can write though.
How?
Like this. This is my name. And she'll get like a pencil and she'll do a little squiggle. It's
Maybe it's just because. Oh wait, no. Never mind.
it's a pretty squiggle.
Oh yeah, I can see it. If you turn it this way, it says "oh."
I'm pretty sure
Oh.
that's a slur in a different language.
Oh.
It's like as if a toddler was like drawing with a crayon or something.
I think I've heard a Chilexian say that once, and it was not in a good context.
Pretty sure that's my name. I think.
We're gonna teach you how to read.
Do I have to?
Yes,
What?
because we're gonna be establishing a settlement for a place for people to come to. There's certain things that people might need to do, such as to read.
Oh.
You can write. That's a first good step.
She
Well,
does more squiggles. That's your
definitely
name.
Hold a pencil.
It's she like holds it with like all her hand.
Oh, yeah. It's the full grip.
Yeah, the full grip.
Yep. She's got definitely. That pencil's not going anywhere.
Well, the settlement is.
Anywho.
So,
I didn't
You
need to read
continue down the
when
path.
the line of work that I had to do.
Olga, do you know how to do math?
What's math? Like counting?
You know, addition, subtraction, PEMDAS.
Oh yes, I had to count money
Pythagorean was a
all
thing
the
in this
time.
universe too, I guess.
No, I had to count money all the time, so I can math.
Okay, do you know how to... Okay, what's 2 plus 2?
It's and she pulls out 4 coins.
Judging by her past.
You know what? That's
good
fair.
time.
It's an hour.
Yep. Sounds about right to me. Definitely. You know, if do we have to come up with a currency, or are we going to use a standardized currency?
We're using the standardized currency that the entire fucking world uses.
If
That's
you
a
leave
fan.
though early, you don't get a refund.
Sure.
I would like one more perception roll while you guys are here to see, like, just a look upon the families and different people here.
I rolled above a 10.
Yeah, you rolled pretty well. I'm just going to go with the people that rolled the highest, although all you notice, this one family or one group seems to stand apart from the rest of them that are going south. They look rather confused, as if they don't know where to go, stressed out even. These are humanoids, but many of you may not have seen ones like this before. They kind of are not seen around very often. I'm trying to see if one of you might recognize them.
Any other description you want to give?
Let me see. What else it says about
Solomon
them.
will kind of make his way over to them.
They're reptilian looking, but not like lizard folk or draconic in nature.
How tall are they?
They're medium height, so standard size. They're not very small. But Solomon's making their way over to them.
Yes.
It looks to be like a small group, maybe not all related. Maybe like 5 or 6 of them. There are 2 younger individuals, but they're very much humanoid at the same time. But why doesn't it say? It says they're reptilian, but they're ophidian humanoids.
Thanks.
Yes. But the artwork to them usually shows them more human-like.
The Naganji?
There are Vishkanya, which they often are looked down upon because they are thought to have a potent venom, and that they poison people and that they are dangerous to be around.
I'm going to post some of their art in Kingmaker so we can have a more visual representation of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Solomon will make his way over, kind of seeing their, I guess, unpreparedness or kind of anxiety or nervousness in this situation. Hello, my good friends. You guys seem to, judging by everybody preparing, you guys look rather unprepared.
Yes, I am sorry. We do not know where we are going. And many of the guards, they will not tell us where to go. We came because we are refugees in this land.
Refugees. Okay. Gideon will look Gideon. Solomon will look about. Is there a guard nearby that he would be able to catch the attention of?
Sure. And as you're closer to them, you can tell that what may have looked like human skin, they have very smooth brown and green type of scales in certain portions of their body. Their eyes are quite golden, and they have that kind of quintessential slit.
Solomon will try to catch the attention of one of the guards with kind of like a snap and a wave of his hands.
And he kind of like points to himself, like, you talking to me? And then he like points behind him.
No, I'm talking to the fucking midwife over there. Yes, you.
Can't you see I'm busy with something?
Yeah, why do you think I'm still asking for your attention? Obviously, we need help over here.
What is it?
It seems that some of your citizens under the protection of Varn are unsure and unprepared.
Oh, this group again. I already told them that they're not welcome down in Varnhold.
Why aren't they welcome?
Do
is
you
that
not?
a personal opinion, or is that from Mayor Varn's decree? Or
Do you
Sir
not
Varn's?
see what they are?
I see that they're refugees, and I see that they're in need help. Was your oath not to protect and serve the denizens of his keep?
I serve those that are worthy of being served.
They look worthy to me. Or do you make the calls?
They look like they
Yes.
want to. They look like
Are
they'll
you-
probably poison you in your sleep.
I'm gonna
just as
walk up
likely-
to this guy and, like, kind of walk into him, kind of being like, oh, sorry, I wasn't seeing where I was going. I'm gonna steal his money.
You're gonna steal his money?
I'm gonna steal whatever money is on him.
Give me a what's it
Pickpocket.
called? Yep, pickpocket.
Thievery.
Yeah, thievery check.
Whatever. I'm hungry.
I mean, I'm just as likely to poison you as anybody, if not more so. What do they have to gain from
Lucky for that
poisoning
real.
you?
Yoshimitsu, he has 3 gold pieces and a picture of a woman that's very scantily clad in his back pocket.
Oh my.
Elbow walks up to the other side of the man. I don't
What?
know, dude. If anything, they don't look like they do anything. I mean, I think you're just profiling. She's kind of bent down at first when she says that too. Cause she walks up on the other side, but like partially behind him, and she kind of bends down so that her head is closer to his before standing again at her full height.
He looks at you for a second. And how do you expect to be a paragon of what's right and wrong when you're a half-breed?
Because unlike you, we've earned a charter.
Magar earned a charter just as much as you did.
Magar!
And he's already established a settlement. And look, all of these people coming to flock to him.
And what have you done? Besides stand here and twiddle your thumbs and take orders.
And act
But
like you're
not follow
holier with your holier than thou attitude.
Is Magar establishing a cowardice?
Look,
Really
I'm
did?
just making sure. He told me to make sure that the people that were coming to us were of good breed.
The people
Of good
that are coming to you are of good breed. Here they are.
They certainly
Hey.
seem a better breed than you, sir.
People of their kind can't be trusted.
Any
Okay.
more than you? Or yours? In my experience, you humans are the
Look, are we
least
gonna have a
trustworthy
problem
of them
here?
all.
Are we going to have a problem here?
I believe that we may.
He starts signaling over to other guards. And then the one Vishkanya that you did speak to comes up to you, Solomon, and says, "Please, we do not mean to make trouble."
No, it's not you that's making trouble. It's this half-baked guard who thinks that he's some sort of king or knight. I
We
bet he
just-
doesn't even have a gold to his name to support it.
We just want a place to be free to be ourselves, to establish ourselves. We will do anything. We will work. We will help in any way. We do not have much money to our names, but we are more than willing to. And then his voice kind of trails off as a child starts to cry, and he starts to comfort them.
I would say, look at that. Some good, willing, hard-working citizens seeking refuge. We know
that's
of a
exact-
port not too far away that we're on our way to eventually. Would you accompany? Right, we were heading there, right?
They're heading to rest off. Yes.
Yeah.
Nova's still just glaring at the guard.
What was your name again?
Are you asking for the guard's name?
Yeah, the
or
guards.
for the?
What's your badge number?
Yeah, what's your badge number?
What was the guard's name that was like just a Comet and Steve? That was with them? I forget.
Almond Steve.
Oh, wasn't Steve the idiot who fell asleep?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is this Steve again?
Yep.
Steve, do you have a wife?
Wait,
Yeah, I have a
you mean
wife.
this is the idiot who fell asleep?
Hey. You don't have to pretend like you know me.
I know what you like.
You're worthless, and you're trying to claim these people aren't worth anything?
The Vishkanya comes up again and kind of puts a hand on your arm, Ilva, and says, "Please, we will go away. We will not make any trouble."
No.
You're not making trouble. This asshole is.
If anything, you should come with us. Not everywhere is built on, a foundation of ignorance and ineptitude. Looking at things. Besides, I'd hardly say if you're safe if you're letting Steve here protect you.
Steve turns and sees that he's touching Ilva. Don't let them touch you. You know you can get poisoned from that. They'll kill you.
Silva snarls in response, baring her teeth at the guard. And she just says, "The only one here who's looking to die is you."
Where's Varn, by the way?
He's
Varn.
Varn.
Or is that outside of your rank? Perhaps there's someone more competent that I should speak to.
He's down at Varnhold, establishing himself.
Varnhold, establishing himself. Wow, that is a very, very just kind of general answer.
Look, he told me I'm not allowed to know.
Dad's out getting milk. Let's see. Well, you're dismissed. Thank you for nothing. We'll find someone else who actually can help.
He spits on the ground next to one of the children and walks away.
Ilva snarls and goes to jump at him.
Ilva?
He's trying to catch.
About the time.
And then one of the
not worth the punishment.
One of the Vishkanya children steps in front of you as well, and their eyes have this distinct shine over them as they glint over with, looks like they're brimming with tears. Please, you don't have to hurt him. We'll go with you.
It's not a matter of wanting to hurt him or needing to hurt him, but some people deserve a swift smack on the head. Maybe it knocks some sense into him.
She kind of wipes the tear away and giggles at the thought of that.
Or a swift kick in the ass.
Like I said, we're on our way to a small hold that is more than welcoming and would love to see your efforts put to use. If you're willing, as you say, to put in the time and the effort, you can certainly make a home there, I'm sure.
The first one that you were talking with steps forward, and then he says, I am Ryza.
Ryza.
I will show the name.
Can you spell that?
Can you read? And can you write?
Are any of you teachers? Can any of you teach people how to read and write common?
Well, we are skilled in many craft, and he welcomes a female Vishkanya who has a very beautiful dress on, dyed in different ways. We are very proud of our creative prospects. We enjoy creating things.
Oh, excellent. Lindsay?
Lindsay with us?
Lindsay by there?
They all were traveling with you, but they're separate or more or less.
Yeah,
you can talk with them at one point.
Okay.
No.
There is somebody wonderful that I would love to introduce you to. She's planning to restore the art. Or she plans to do a whole lot with the arts. And Wonderful dress, by the way.
Thank
We
you.
would love to meet you and collaborate with all your creative prospects.
Forgive me, she starts to cry. We have just traveled so far, and everywhere we go, we are not finding any friendly face.
Well, let us be the first friendly faces that welcome you to your future homes that will also be our future homes.
Ryza steps forward again and say, "We are a proud people, and we survive no matter what. This is all that is left of our community. When we were attacked, pushed off of our lands.
Well, with us, we'll make sure that you not only just survive, but thrive."
I thank you." So Ryza and his group of 5 or 6 end up following you for the rest of the way to Restov.
I'll pay for any like in fees that they need
Incur.
if
Okay. If they're staying in town.
they're staying in town. I'll make sure that they're properly fed and out, or at least have a roof over their head.
Okay. All right. You are finally approaching Restov.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Oh,
There's something very important on our way that we have to do.
Uh-oh.
is it to show Varn your oral exercises?
No, where's the crazy man?
He was back by
Oh,
Oleg's
he's all the way
post.
back here. You'll have to hit
Oh,
him on the way
fuck,
back.
Yeah, I forgot about him. We have to give him his payment.
You'll have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Since now he's in kind of established in the lands that you have freed.
I mean, he probably forgot about it anyways.
I
Or he
forgot
finally fell
about it.
asleep.
I forgot how much he owes us.
We're gonna find a fucking crater.
You flash over to Boken's hut. He is dancing around naked around a fire that he has set in the middle of his home and throwing various powders into it
Okay.
that smells strongly of drugs.
Solomon,
And
I think
he's
that's your
just kind
future.
of dancing around.
You know, if this is how I end up, it's not exactly a bad thing.
You guys
Could be
having a
worse.
collective.
Could be
You guys are
worse.
looking directly at camera, having all seen that collective flashback.
Look at him.
Huh.
Unbothered. In his lane. He's not doing any harm. Thriving,
Skin.
I'd say.
Crop water,
Look
Moisturized.
at him. This old, still a full head of
And-
hair.
eating hot chip.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to do is eat hot chip and fantasize. Good for him.
All right. Anything else before we get to rest off?
I generally can't remember what the fuck we were supposed to do with him.
He was looking for supplies, and
Didn't
you
we get the
dropped them
things
off.
that we? No, yeah, we gave Oleg the supplies. Did he not send us to get materials?
He also was talking about the
Berries.
fang berries,
Yeah.
Did we ever
Yeah.
get those?
No, not yet.
but
Well,
you have time now.
Yeah, there's time.
All right. I'm gonna take you to the Aldori Manor.
Once we get some retainers, we're going to send them out.
I am taking the hireling manager. There's a.
That's the market thing I was gonna let you guys use, but it's I can hide it for now. It has like everything in it.
No, it doesn't. It
No,
has all the
not a-
basic stuff in it.
Yeah, all the basic stuff in it. We were gonna
There's
have to do
a-
that next time anyway.
Well, there's a shop, a way to do shop stuff, but without needing. But we can deal with that when it comes around.
So, as you approach Lady Jamondi's, I don't know what you call it, manor, hold, she's already standing outside, and in fact, other people of Restov bowed to you, gave you applause. Seems like word traveled pretty quickly through other people, somehow getting here before you did, that the Stag Lord was defeated. She meets you at the front of her home, and Yoshimitsu Bon is still curse-bound, by the way. Oh.
I don't think
Do you
we
want to
want
stay
the,
curse-bound? Okay. Yeah, you've been resting for multiple days.
Oh, also, I changed the flag. It's no longer a flag. It's now a sash that has all the flowers around my belt. Because during that week I retrained and got this.
Every time I look at you, Yoshimitsu, there's something different.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like something that's in control of my destiny keeps changing its fucking mind.
Well, I would find someone else.
I would too, but unfortunately I'm a puppet on strings.
Oh, more like a puppy on strings.
Shut the fuck up.
You'll
Anyway,
see that at a certain point, if you didn't notice, Trishan kind of peeled off from you guys and went elsewhere when you guys breached the city. But Lady Jamandis on her front steps greets you and welcomes you. Familiar faces, and I am glad to see them. All unscathed, I hope. Well, at least no scars that you didn't already have. She gives a look to Ilva and to Bon.
I didn't take that feat, no. I guess I didn't need to bring the Stag Lord's helmet all this way as proof of victory.
Ah, we can take that and make that into a lovely trophy
Please
for your
do it.
mantle if you'd like. She takes it at arm's length and then hands it off to a guard over here, who then
I'm going
promptly
to burn the sack I brought it in.
Ew, it's stinky. He runs inside.
That guard has a higher pitched voice than I was anticipating.
Please, allow me to welcome you in. Can I get you anything to eat? A celebration is in order.
Perhaps.
Or maybe you just like to rest. We can offer you a place here or in town.
There's some matters to discuss about that. But I believe it would be more appropriate to at least sit
We at
and
least deserve the
discuss
rest.
them. Yeah.
You are more than welcome to stay in our halls. And trust me when I say that they are safer than ever, and we do not expect anything like happened before.
I would
It brings great shame to me that happened, and I apologize.
It wasn't in your intention. So I'm sure it
Was
can
the
be
targeted
forgiven.
attack after all?
I would turn to Ryza. Off of like a prior being in here, do we know how much it would cost to stay? At least like to find like a room or like room and board for a bit.
It would not. I don't know. I don't have an exact thing on that, but Lady Jamandi would, if you talk to her, would probably offer you and anyone that is traveling with you room and board.
I just don't want to put them like so much in the spotlight. I would kind of look to at least allow them to settle in like their own kind of space before having them make an appearance.
A private room for 2 is 8 silver pieces per day.
Okay, and how many of them are there, you said?
There were 6. 2 younger, and then the rest of them were older adults.
Okay, so I'll hand them 8 gold in order to
Oh, I already handed them 8 gold.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, that was from when I stole the money from the guard.
Okay, cool.
He paid
I
for
still
it.
have that picture. Steve needs better taste in women.
I would at least turn to Ryza then. I don't mean to put you in any sort of political, I guess, situation. So find yourself a place to stay, and when you're ready, seek us out here, and we'll be able to address with Lady Jumanji about your situation.
Please, you are too kind. We are in your debt. We cannot repay soon, but maybe we can make money or help in some way.
Don't worry about the debt for now. You can worry about that at a later time. For now, focus on health and comfort.
He looks towards who you assume is his wife and his 2 children, smiling, grinning, and they all thank you profusely and kind of go back towards town.
I wanted to make sure that they weren't in the middle of whatever they weren't comfortable with.
So Jumanji probably allowed you a place to sleep, either in her halls or otherwise. Do you want to talk to her inside, or do you want to stay out here?
Can we have some food first? The rations on the road were prepared in.
Please, come in. We always are prepared for banquets. That is what this hall is for, after all. You'll find it looks very similar to the way you left it.
Bodies included?
No, before all that. That's because there's only one map for this place.
Wow, look at all these reused stuff.
I disappeared everyone on the map, but there are plenty of them. I just made them hidden. And then you'll see Lady Jumanji talk with one of the guards over here, who starts bringing out various plates with fresh bread, fruits, and maybe some prepared marinated meats that are being cooked, that they're already preparing for their dinner. And with the help of the guard, brings them over and serves you herself.
Oh.
Please, I must hear of the tale of how you took down the Stag Lord.
Oh, that would be good.
Well, certainly a tale. Who would like to, I guess, take lead? I mean, it's not so much spinning a story as it is accounting for historical accuracy.
Oh, come now. No need to be modest about it. Make up any of the details you want. I'll believe any of them. I'd much have a good story. I'd much have a good story than whatever the truth might be.
Well, here's the fun part. I will tell you a story, and you tell me which parts you think I embellished.
Ilva picks her head up with her mouth half full and says, "We dressed up as what was the word?
Mm-hmm.
What was it?
You're right there. Toots."
He starts to crack up and slaps her knee and sits down on the bench over here. You're kidding. You're going to lead with that.
Take it as you may. The best way to infiltrate a fort full of lonely and drunken men seemed to be to seek their other vices. So, with the, I guess, assistance of some cosmetics, many of our party cleans up quite well and does well in the, I guess, art of seduction. Ilva's got quite the knack for the throat, and Tristan was a ally. I don't know where he's wandered off to, but seemed more than willing to entertain a few guests as well. And one by one, as they sought their relief. They were relieved from the mortal coil until eventually the Stag Lord woke, and in his pungency and in his, I guess, hangover of legendary proportions, found his end. So
if I could have seen the look on his face when he realized he had been bested.
I was fully in front of it.
That would be something that I'm sure Yoshimitsu could perhaps paint in full color.
Tell me then, do you think that he regret his ways in the end?
Not a one.
No.
You would think when a man near the end of his life would at least try to atone for something. Maybe he was truly gone.
He definitely seemed mad. He started shouting about something coming for him.
Paranoid. Sounds like it. Those with power like to do everything they can to hold on to power.
Speaking of power, there seems to be Varn has made a good effort in his establishment. Have you heard any reports from him?
Yes. I have heard that he's already established a settlement there, building a bridge in a way to establish trade. And I even think that there's something in the works to create a pass through the mountains. It would save plenty of time going into, well, what might become your territory.
Oh no, this man's gonna fucking open the mines of Moria.
Oh, yeah. Oh, doors.
I can't say I agree with his disposition. He reminds me more of the Stag Lord than he does of, well, a lot of you.
Well, you must have seen something in him to, I guess, allow it to begin with, so trust your gut.
He has connections to the Sword Lords as well. He's a respected name. It wouldn't be my right to prevent him from establishing his claim just like you. In fact, he was kind of... what do I want to say?
Adamant?
It was kind of a given that he was going to establish himself. He decided what contract he was going to take before anyone else did.
That's a question I have for you.
Okay,
other
but
contracts-
like, Barnhold, really?
What other contracts are out there for... Well, it wasn't just us. It was Varn and other people, if you were willing to share.
Other groups were given duties to travel farther out. Those that were skilled in survival, tracking, going as far out to close to Pitak if they could, just to keep an eye on them. And others were to establish themselves past your lands, further north, just to go through the swamps, see if there's anything beyond them. Those lands haven't been surveyed in even before the history books.
Swamps.
Tell me, did you find the land that you were upon? Did it feel... well, did it feel like it could be your new home?
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
That's a loaded question.
We did, in fact,
For that,
find the land itself.
for that will be your first task, to establish the boundaries of your new land, to decide where the settlement begins. We will leave this choice up to you, for it is now, as far as we are concerned, we are now counterparts. Two nations that are allied in the same cause. I hope that you will remain good partners.
Would
I
not
like
do
that
us
Solomon didn't even bother to come in.
well. Oh, my bad. I could go over there.
They're having a conversation from.
Shouting
They're on
from
speakerphone.
outside.
Yeah.
He's got his AirPods in.
I'm on. Yeah, it's a conference call.
We might
For-
want to wait for the rest of our entourage to make it here before we begin the actual creation process of this settlement.
Yes, plenty of time to do that, and plenty of support we were willing to give you in that vein.
Solomon, take your ADHD meds.
Doomies.
I, as well as Yosef and other sword lords, we would like to give you a small seed, a loan, to help establish your settlement, to buy supplies as you see necessary.
I'm a loan of $1 million.
Because
Nothing
that, is one
that
of the
we
actual things.
And we do not expect payment to be back in gold. We would like a partnership, a way to establish a safe trade route between your settlement further in the Stolen Lands and here at Restov. If we can guarantee safety for tradesmen, you'll be more than likely to start to attract people to live in your settlement.
So you supply the capital to begin, and we supply the means to continue.
Exactly that, Solomon. And she's going to give you all 2,000 gold
I know.
to use as you see fit, whether that be on your own supplies, things like that, but just for the stash itself for you. So I don't know who wants to put that. I can put it in the stash itself.
So you said 2,000 gold total or 2,000 gold per?
2,000 gold total.
Okay.
You might as well just put it in the stash.
Yeah, I'm putting it in there. It isn't much, but that is what we can start you with, so that you can establish a small settlement. If we are able to establish merchant routes, that will soon dwell as fast as you may want it to.
Well, we already know a merchant, at least. He's a little...
So you
he's weird, but, he seems true enough.
I believe if we were to settle with a merchant of Svetlana and
Oh. True!
would be this. He would be an interesting addition.
That's
to
true.
the settlement.
Svetlana is definitely a much better option.
You see her face change when you hear Svetlana? When Lady Jamandi hears Svetlana?
Mhm.
Ah. How
Mhm.
is Lady Svetlana doing?
Face change how?
Just a curious face, as if she has feelings about her going off.
Oh,
You
okay.
referred
Oleg.
to Lady Svetlana. I've never known her to hold a title.
Ah. She is nobility. You wouldn't know it by the way that she chooses to live. But one, not the life for me. I'd much rather have an establishment, a place that I can stay, something more than, 4 wooden walls.
I want vibe check.
Technically, she's got more than 4 walls, because there were at least 3 buildings.
It's a 9.
Well, and then there's the outer wall, too.
No, it's not. It's actually a 25. Is there familial recollection in her face?
Not as if it's like she's family with them, but she's just being judgy,
Okay.
is what you can gather.
Hmm.
She doesn't understand how someone could choose to live in the middle of the wilderness when she had everything that she could have wanted.
It seems like what she was missing, she found out there.
She's doing better
Oh,
now
like-
that the Stagwards people aren't trying to harass them.
That is true.
I can't imagine that was
Although
easy for them.
They'd cut a guy's arm off. Or did
Svetlana
she just
cut up.
kill him?
She killed him.
Right, and put him in the compost pit.
Yeah,
Svetlana.
neither here nor there.
He killed someone.
Well, he started it.
No doubt about that. If it was one of the bandits of the Stag Lord, he probably deserved it. Good for her. And you can tell that she's kind of impressed now.
As I said, she's found herself quite well out there, it seems. Now that most of her troubles have, been dealt with, I believe that the happiness that she seeks is well on its way.
Whoop.
Good to hear. Please do tell Lady Svetlana that I have her in my thoughts.
We'll pass the message. There is a matter to speak of concerning establishing a hold. We found in Mr. Varen's settlement a group of, what are they called?
Yeah, Vishkanya.
Vishkanya?
Yeah.
Yeah. They seemed less than well received. So, in order to kind of yeah, Steve. In order to help them along their way, we've brought them with us and are currently taking them under board here while we work to establish a means and a place of refuge for them. Would you mind harboring them?
Her face comes serious.
I know they are not well received, but they mean to work and they mean to earn their keep.
And she puts her hand up. She says, "No, it isn't that. I am more concerned that that was the attitude of Magar."
May not be Magar himself, but those under him certainly are not,
Well,
I guess, as well receiving.
the guard did say that he was supposed to. That Magar told him they were supposed to be people of good stock.
Good
Breeding?
breed.
Yeah.
But the man himself seemed about as well bred as the mutts in the alley.
Steve might be a narcoleptic.
Worse. Especially for as worthless as he was, falling asleep on a job.
Concerning to me, but I have no power over him, just as I don't have power over you.
Annoying.
But it is worth noting that our neighbor isn't as accepting and welcoming to people.
It's difficult to build a well and I guess it's hard to build a nation on a good foundation if there's already distrust in it. So understand where some stereotypes may breed unease in the people and cause a less than favorable beginning. It is still concerning, though. I figured him a better character than this is displayed.
The guard
But-
had the gall to call me a half-breed.
And where are they now?
If he has a
This
problem
group.
with me and them, I don't think he's gonna like anybody who's not human.
The group is, I kind of, where are they? They're like south of,
In a tavern, probably.
yeah.
Are they asking? Is she asking about the Vishkanya or
Yes,
Barnes people?
the Vishkanya.
I thought she was asking about where the
Yeah, she's asking about the Vishkanya.
Varn was.
They're in the unnamed tavern.
Yeah, they're in insert tavern name here.
The
Don't bother looking what up.
I almost said the Raven's Roost, but that is just
I can't say, motherfucker.
You mean the ugly muffin?
Oh God. Excuse me.
They
That
serve
would-
delicious baked goods in the morning, and if you stay there long enough, they're willing to sell you discounted muffins. You know, the misshapen ones that come out of the oven, a little bit burnt, a little bit ugly, but they are very delicious, all the same.
Sounds like you've
Yes.
found yourself there a few times. But I believe that's where they were headed.
I will send an envoy to make contact. Better yet, I will go myself later.
When you go, I'd be happy to accompany to make the introductions, perhaps more, I guess, less foreboding for them. You
Indeed.
carry a presence that may seem intimidating.
And she kind of like demurs at that.
Very demure, very mindful.
Careful with your words, Solomon. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that you were flirting with me.
I carry no blade, so my tongue must be sharp.
Mhm.
As
Yes.
the bottles I bring.
I will come find you. I assume that you're going to be in the area for the next few days, supplying up and all that.
I believe that we have some business. So yes, I mean, I'll probably be finding myself in your halls for the next few days, so I'll make myself available.
With that, I am sorry, but I have business to attend to myself. A meeting with Yosef. All good things. I'm going to share the good news. And hopefully we are able to establish more contracts and supply even more funds for your cause.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome and for hearing us once again.
He does get a little bit quieter out of the earshot of the guards.
Mhm.
I will say, though we were able to get you a small sum, that definitely the pockets of this area run deep. It surprised me that we were only able to get such a meager sum for your cause. Eventually, it may be important for you to tell them the plans for your settlement, for your kingdom.
Oh, it's
And perhaps
No.
that more can be convinced.
no worries. I've always found a way to find gold in my hands.
There are some that
Apparently, he
Well.
can just sweet talk it out of him.
There are some that are a little bit more like Magar, if that makes sense. And
Ew.
your group, well, we don't exactly have many outsiders in the Sword Lord court.
Something to be taken into account then.
If you need anything in the meantime, Ivenzi, you remember, he can help you with anything. Feel free to use the Great Hall and the East Wing to your liking. You may also stay in town. I'm not obliged to have you here if you do not want to stay. And feel free to explore. And with that, Lady Jamandi makes her way for the doors.
Evenzi, can you get me some more wine?
Hey, Bon.
The entire
I'm here.
bottle.
I'm here to help you, not to fetch things for you. Fine.
I'm not going to be that. Okay. I was about to say you don't need to, but
Is he
He
okay?
pops the cork off and takes a swig of it himself before handing it to you.
you know that's fair.
You know, it
Thanks.
surprises me that a group like you was able to conquer the Stag Lord so quickly.
And
We're
what does
efficient.
that mean?
Looks can be deceiving. I'm impressed.
Perhaps you
When
would
people
like to
put
see
their
some of their
bodies to work.
deceiving looks.
Is she just like eating it like a fucking fruit?
Where's Bon?
Oh yeah. thing is as big as her head, and she's just biting into it.
Can you
I
not
have
see
no
Bon?
idea where Bon
Bon's
is.
right here.
No, I'm just asking. What?
Oh,
Bon's
we
up
should
to.
probably talk to the cult tomorrow.
Yeah.
The who?
The cult? Bond's cult?
Yeah.
Oh, the cult that
Bon-
Bon is a leader of.
Yeah, Bon, your people are, I guess, in town as well, right?
Oh, she's not even here. Look, she got her little coffee cup.
Oh, goddamn.
Uva kind
Um,
of looks over. Is like, was that guy insulting us?
I could answer that for you though.
Maybe?
Sorry.
Bon's.
Oh, that's
It's eerie, but
Like
okay.
how-
Always
Listening.
listening.
It's not
As a
threatening at
cult leader
all.
would.
always watching.
It's just she can't make her checks if you ask her to make a check. But if you want to answer their question.
Well, perfect. We can find your cult together. There's some members I definitely want to meet. Takes a sip of the wine.
Oh, it may be worth it, as per what Lady Jumanji said, that perhaps we work some or establish more defined connections. How are you feeling, by the way?
Olga,
What
give Jimmy
about
some health?
what about the, I guess, the shadow that, I guess, briefly made its acquaintance? Wondering if there's been any progression in that, or any sort of insight that you may have. You were a bit preoccupied when it made its appearance, and I haven't heard your take on it. Um, just going back, or like review of that situation, it had possessed Bon and saw, what was it that it wanted to do? Did it want to, I guess, share Bon as a vessel type situation? Or
It was using Bon as a vessel to thank you and to kind of establish that connection with you.
ooh,
Medicine check. Oh, Jimmy is hurt for some
Yeah,
reason.
well, when you level up, familiars don't
Oh.
gain the HP.
Gotcha.
and it's Gibraltar.
The Gibraltar's probably also missing 5 hit points as well. You didn't need to do a medicine check.
You didn't get very much from the shadow because
Mm-hmm.
everybody kind of yelled at them. But they were trying to share how they are trying to free the world of the darkness that has plagued the land and heal the land.
Okay. That's true, but outside of the superlative, on a personal level, I guess I spoke for you in that instance without knowing how you would receive it. Is that something that you would be willing to do? Your, I guess, nature of a religious leader would make me think that you're selfless in your body. I'm not sure if that means that should you be a vessel again, that it would be something that you would welcome or not. Oh, that's something. Uh-huh. Hmm. Interesting.
Olga said that though.
No, I know. Shiva.
Wow, Jimmy sounds really like Olga over there.
Jimmy. Push the blame on Jimmy.
The So, what was the issue with the Stag Lord then? Was it just an intolerance, where perhaps you were just... But you've had the corrupt before, and it didn't result in that. It was a potency issue. Or a tolerance on your part. Like imbibing too much. I guess the question is if you will have to again.
I feel like on this journey we might be finding a lot more than we were ever prepared to be finding.
I'll remind you guys
You're
that.
in existence or the entities?
Keep going.
Fuck you with this mystic bullshit. Takes another sip of wine. I've had enough of this back home.
I'll also remind you that you noticed, remember, Bon, last time that you had never seen that happen before, where the darkness that was in one person's heart seemed to dissipate. Like in the Stag Lord's right-hand man. I can't remember his name.
He's dead now.
Yes, he's dead now. And then Solomon also noticed that Tartuccio was acting differently as well. These are just things I wanted to remind you of. Yeah, or it certainly seemed to affect others around you. And that's probably, you could put that together, that it seemed to affect, like, such a great evil that you purged seemed to affect other people that were in that web.
Also be seen as a cancerous growth. Would you prefer a commune? A group? A fellowship?
Could also just call it regularly a regular religion, philosophy even.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, seems to have at least a few members that we know personally. Or at least Yoshimitsu, your aunts?
One of them, at least.
Okay.
If the flock has been led astray, then let the shepherd. And have them find their way.
You hear the door open as well, as the guard is at the front comes in, looks around the room, sees all of you, spots you, Yoshimitsu. Are you Yoshimitsu?
Oh, hi! Oh,
Someone dropped this letter for you.
oh, but thank you.
He just nods.
I nod back
Do
stoically.
it again. Do it again.
Oh god, it's the Skyrim courier!
It is a small
Got a letter
rolled
for you, your
scroll,
hands on it.
Yoshimitsu, and it has a blue ribbon around it, much the same that you had seen earlier in the Stolen Lands.
I open it.
It says, "My dearest Yoshimitsu, words cannot express how proud I am of what you have accomplished. There is more that I'd like to say to you. Meet me outside Restov's walls this evening."
When?
This evening.
This evening.
You may bring your friends. Did I mention how proud I am? And then it just has a little K at the bottom. Very ornamental.
Run on sentences. Well, it looks like we're going to be meeting the cult religion. At least one of their members sooner rather than later.
Pass.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to do? I mean, obviously I'd like you guys to shop in town, but we can do that next time and get anything that you guys might want, because I haven't made a shop, and I don't really know how to
we
do
can
that.
actually just access the items themselves too,
Oh yeah, you could do that too.
because that'd probably be more better than just creating a small list of things.
Yeah. So with the gold that you guys have to just get some upgrades to your weapons and some potion scrolls, things like that.
Rest of is a. What? Rostov is a
kind of town it
level 9 settlement, so it would have items of up to level 9 to be available for purchase.
So it pretty much has everything that you could imagine.
Yeah.
At this
Anything
point.
within our price range.
Yeah. There's apothecaries in town. There are blacksmith, multiple places for building supplies, all kinds of things like that.
Better be Wild Blacksmith, the second highest ancestry. Second highest amount of ancestries is fucking dwarves.
So I'm going to do this on the other landing page. I'm going to activate it for you guys. It is now 7:30 at night. And I'm going to take you guys to the other landing page. So that we can
Luccio's
play this out
light
here.
spell ran out.
Good for him.
Sucks to suck, I guess.
Did it bring you to this page?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Outside, I'm going to pretend this is Restov. You run into Tristan outside of the gates. It's darker. Sun is setting, and he's holding a lantern. And upon seeing all of you, he beams, has a very big smile on his face. You came.
Ilva grimaces at him.
I mean, I was told to come. You, however, were not part of the promise of being met out here.
I'm only going to lead you. Don't worry.
Please don't tell me it's in a sewer.
No, nothing like that.
What the
Can you
fuck kind of
imagine?
question is that?
Kimiko ever going into a
been
sewer?
carrying that Stag Lord helmet this entire time. The sewage probably smells better, but I still don't want to deal with it.
On a, running around the walls, there's a part of town that's kind of like, it looks like an older, more dilapidated part of an old part of the town. So there's some structures there that aren't exactly complete or kind of in disrepair. And Tristan leads you in through these alleyways, back and forth, twisting around, going all this different directions, leads you up to a door with a small symbol on the doorway of an eye, like an eye, and he knocks on the door in a pattern. The door opens.
Wow, people actually do that? I thought that was just a thing in stories.
To reveal a kitsune in front of you. A white kitsune. And she immediately... Sorry, I have her all the way over here. I'll put a mover over here. Upon seeing Tristan, leans in and gives him a hug, and then sees Yoshimitsu, and also goes to embrace you. My Yoshimitsu.
Auntie. I just let
You
her
say
hug
you're
me. I don't hug back, but I just let her hug me.
And your friends. It is lovely to meet you. I am Kimiko. Please, come in.
Hilda has a look like her face this whole time has just been one of like
It's hard to move on this.
disgust
You have to
and
use the arrows.
uncomfort.
Discomfort?
Discomfort.
She leads you into a room, and then into another room, and then behind a small bookcase into another back room where there's a small fireplace lit. I'm guessing you have questions, Yoshimitsu.
Yeah. What are you doing here with these... with this... gestures vaguely?
You just pointed to all of me.
I take it you mean the society I am a part of.
That's one word for it.
Society. Being so far away from Minkai.
Yoshimitsu, this is a group that is just studying mysteries around the world. I have always had interest in unsolved things that have happened around this planet. I'm curious of the darkness. Do not mistake me. We are a group of scholars. Nothing more than that.
Yet Christian was using us.
Perhaps it is better that we show you. Tristan comes forward and has what looks to be a tablet. Like it's a triangular, like it has 3 prongs. It goes into 3 directions. One, the top prong is a little bit longer, and then there's 2 smaller prongs coming off the bottom of it. It is made of like a very dark obsidian looking material. It kind of shimmers and glints in the firelight. And you can tell that there are runes and words upon it that kind of shimmer with the red of the flames.
Okay. What is this?
A rock.
This is but one of the mysteries that has been gone unsolved. We believe it has connections to a religion of sorts. Forgotten.
Do any of the holes have... are they like shaped like the rock that Solomon currently has?
Yes, so there are, it looks like slots, 5 of them, towards the middle of the stone, like the middle of it, where the 2 prongs come out from the bottom.
Solomon?
And
Do I
to
have a
be
rock?
clear, she's
Yeah.
trying to express that she's not part of a cult. They're part of a group that studies mysteries, and that's really all that they are. Just because they stumbled across something that's connected to this cult doesn't mean that they are connected to
Didn't
it.
Solomon
Some
have
members are. One of them did. Either that or Bon
I think
would have
Bond
been
has
carrying
the
it.
rock.
Does Bond have the rock?
I had the.
We might not have created it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, because I had the first one. And the second one.
Olga has
I
chalk.
have-
It's for name writing. Yeah.
I put the circle in the square hole.
It goes in the square hole, and the bridge goes in the square hole, and the triangle goes in the square hole. As you go to like put your hand up to it, Yoshimitsu, it like, as if magnetized, leaves your fingers and falls into the slot, and kind of just then looks as if it's sealing itself there. Like a red line appears where the boundaries would have been, and it just kind of permanently affixes itself. Kimiko, looking down upon it in Tristan's hand, how curious.
Looks like I solved the first part of the puzzle.
There is an important part, but they're already the others are already mad enough at me for trying to interfere. I dare not interfere anymore. My sisters wouldn't even forgive me for doing any more. But please, take. We will leave you with the stone to find out its secrets. And Tristan hands over the tablet to Yoshi, and the two of them kind of go into one of the rooms.
Does the tablet feel weird, or is it just a stone tablet?
It feels exceptionally cold. It doesn't like pulsate. It does have like a magic to it. The etchings that you look upon, there's like it seems to kind of move in and out of your understanding. And even those of you that are looking on it that don't read kind of get these flashes of images or emotions or memories, as if you're understanding what is written upon the stone without even being able to read it.
I don't like the Eldritch Rock.
I will say, though, that if you look around the room, when it seems to shimmer in the fire, when you were looking at it in the fire. You guys can give me checks or whatever to try to figure out what's going on with it, the nature of it, those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm. I throw it in the fire without question.
All right. Are all of you looking at this?
Sure.
More or less.
Hoopla!
Yes.
All right, I'm
Say
gonna
no more. I
read.
don't want this thing in my hands.
I'm gonna read some things to you. Whether these words actually appear on the stone is another thing entirely. But you are getting this information in your head somehow. So at the very top, the longer portion, it begins by saying, I open to the heroes without eyes or ears to know what they have done. Ones left in the dark from their past, emptied of the sullied memories of their origins. Those without connections, left alone in a world that shows no mercy. Those that know true darkness will allow the light to reveal itself. Ones that trust the unknowns and gather for a unified cause. And then those words kind of disappear, and then these words and images come in. You who read me must bear this to secrecy. Nurture those that will come to do what they cannot know. In the land where near 1,000 kingdoms have risen and 1,000 kingdoms have fallen, a land where only the soil itself remembers what is past. When the horned one falls by his own hand, those that bear witness shall rise from the darkness and forge a final kingdom in their image, and thus our image. A kingdom return dark and light to balance. Its walls must not fall. Those words then shift and disappear. And then these different questions that just keep popping up into your head. It says, we ask, what makes a kingdom? Is it the respect for its borders? The pride of its people, the strength of its walls? And these ideas now are just overlapping as they're hitting you. The extent of its history, the value of its coffers, the friends it bears, the enemies it makes. It's just like repeatedly going all of these different ways that you can connect to the idea of a kingdom. Oh my god. Dobbs. Kamehameha. And then it settles down after a while, all of these ideas of what a kingdom could be, and then it says, "We have watched. We have seen them come and go. They are all lost to time, all forgotten. Stories of bravery, of loss, of pain, all erased. We watch as each rises to take its place, and each is drawn back into the dust from which it was created. We watch and witness all become lost to the whims of mortal and deific power. The elements and the lords over them return it all to the aether. The waves of the sea will erode even the strongest stone on land. The fires past the deepest caverns melt all semblance of meaning. The very air with its patience can tear all things asunder and scatter them around the land. The earth and its endless appetite will consume the highest mountain. This kingdom shall conquer them all. And so we wait for this new kingdom, one that resists the darkness of non-memory." And then it just trails off.
Magic fire rock. Can I get that in writing?
Yeah, I can.
Can I get this prophecy in writing? Thank you.
It's in
A
shorthand.
legal document of this prophecy.
It's in shorthand because I just made up some of it. But you will notice as you guys were like watching this and reading this that Kimiko and Tristan are both poking their heads in and trying to watch what's happening.
I hate prophecies.
Ilva glares at them.
Now here's the question. Now that we know the prophecy, are we out of it?
Is that just a question you're asking to the room?
Is the prophecy even true to begin with? How do we know this is an actual prophecy, not just the ravings of a magic madman?
If it's the ravings of a magic madman, he's one hell of a madman.
Well, fucking remember, wizards are fucking weird.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Look at all half the shit that's in this world is because a wizard did it.
Well, whether or not Boric chose to make rocks is another instance, I guess we should ask. Did I also say Boric, crazy wizard guy?
I don't.
Boken.
Boken, Boric.
Falcon's an alchemist. He's a different type of crazy.
Okay, well, let's not discount alchemist crazies.
I've seen you do things that no safe person would do.
Exactly. So if I felt the whim to make a weird magic fire rock that rambled when you threw it into a fire, probably within the means to do so. But it's also a matter of how do you feel about weird rock mysticism?
Kimiko is like nearly like on the floor, hanging into the room.
I am not acknowledging her presence.
Ilva is still glaring at her.
What
She
did
just
it
looks
say?
slightly more confused now.
What did it reveal to you?
We're going to be conquerors. Or something.
Well, that's a way to put that.
I mean, there is the word conquer in there.
Yeah.
It revealed to us that we're supposed to be the final kingdom, the 1,000th kingdom.
Kingdom of Heaven?
The kingdom of heaven. Hallowed be thy name.
Curious.
But
But why go through the trouble to have such a stone set upon... What does it mean?
Is the stone still in the fire?
Yes.
I grab the tongue and take it out of the fire.
Pick it out. Yeah.
We watch and we witness all become who to the lost winds of mortal and deific power. Who is who? Who is
Christian
we,
immediately
rather?
picks it up, and it's not hot at all. He just like has no reaction to it. It leaves us with more questions than it did answers. That's disappointing.
Are you
Elements
surprised?
and the lords over them that return all to dirt.
It does speak to dirt.
You see, when we cracked its mysteries, we only saw the first portion. The rest of it wasn't revealed to us.
Olga,
Maybe it's not meant for you.
Huh?
have you spoken with something other than dirt?
Jimmy?
Perhaps. Perhaps something related to air, water, fire. Well, I guess
Dirt.
fire just spoke to us.
There is the wind. So
There is the
there is
wind?
air.
You've spoken to the wind?
Dirt is air.
Dirt is air, so that logically that would mean dirt is everything else as well.
I'm sorry, dirt?
Dirt.
Kimiko says.
Hey Lord, don't worry about it.
Dirt.
Other
No,
rock.
I feel like she should worry about it if it's related to her weird crap.
The very air with its patience can tear all the evil stone.
I guess another question is, we originally presented the first stone to dirt, and it resulted in Olga's pact.
We gotta find more magic rocks. We gotta find the frog.
What would...
Yeah,
I
but
guess-
what will Dirt try to take next time?
True. But is it also something that we should continue to humor? To restore to restore the stones to dirt would be to restore dirt to what they once were. They are as they are because they are fragmented. Returning the stones to them seems to be the method to which they become whole again.
Dirt
If
was
we-
once peaceful. I don't understand why you guys speak so in such a negative tone about
Olga,
her.
how do you know dirt was peaceful?
I can feel it.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
We love a gut instinct.
Hold
Dirt
on, I
is
need
in
a
me.
vibe check here real quick. Hold on.
Tristan just elbows Kimiko and says, "It's a long story. We'll have to tell everyone at once." Ooh,
Don't say ooh.
I'm gonna reveal it. By one. Now it's a crit success. I'll let you determine what that actually means then, Olga.
What do you mean?
The sense motive. Any crit
Vi-
success.
You vibed to my check?
I vibed your check. I checked your vibe.
What's your aura? What's
Yo,
your
the aura go on. How chill
Yeah.
are you?
Okay. There is
Describe
no
the vibe.
chill.
Oh shit!
Well,
there's
In
no
fact,
chill?
there is no
any magic
emotion.
affecting that too.
There's a lack of vibe.
There is a lack of vibe. There is no
Oh,
motion, no tone
shit.
in her sound. Because this is what she traded away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
critical success, you determine the creature's true intentions and get a solid idea of any mental magic affecting it.
This
So
is
that-
what she traded away. She traded away her emotions and the ability
Was it
to
worth it?
feel.
It is
Was it
not
worth it,
magic.
Olga? Trade away a sense of yourself.
Which
She
is
told you
interesting.
she shouldn't have done it.
Well,
What are you
no,
talking
hold
about?
on. It's an interesting trade-off. She gave up the means of her own emotion to restore that.
Yeah, but she still gets affected by mental effects and does not have a plus or negative to them when making checks of such nature.
Hmm.
That's an idea for Haki later.
Mhm. To be clear, the emotions kind of come and go for Olga. It's not like
She
It's
take them away, or is she taking
completely
them for
devoid
herself?
of it. But there are times probably where Olga feels kind of numb and out of it, times where Olga does have emotion, times where it's just kind of coming and going.
Dirt is my medication, basically.
Yes, it took away painful things, painful memories that Olga had. Not the memories themselves, she still remembers them, but the emotion that came with those.
That strong murderous intent that she did when she was shoving. I don't remember who was present. I know for a fact Bon and Solomon were there.
Yeah,
But when
I
she
think
was like
just more of that.
shoving stuff in poison or arsenic down a guy's throat, that's like no longer there. It's like that strong, real anger she had before then, making this trade-off is like very diluted now.
It seems we have even more mystery on our hands. Perhaps with all of us together, we can come up with some sort of idea as to what's going on. Man, I really thought that was going to give us something. She seems very disappointed.
Olga is just as confused as you.
You should know how these prophecies work. You've been studying them all your life. Remember Aradin? He's now fucking dead.
We'll
I
talk
don't understand
later.
why you're all so sensitive.
You don't like a
I'm
business
I feel-
a
partner.
sensitive man.
I feel good.
Are you sure that's yourself and
You-
not Nyrissa giving it to you?
I don't know why you keep insisting that she's doing this. She took away what I asked
Because
her
I don't
to.
trust the faith!
Well, maybe you should be more open-minded if you want to
She
start
took
a
away your
kingdom.
pain, so you feel great. But you do realize that your pain was part of who you were, right? It makes
Maybe
you
I
who
don't
you
want that
are.
part. Maybe I don't want that part of me.
And that's why I don't like it, because you shouldn't just give away part of what you are.
But that's not your decision to make. It was mine.
And it's ridiculous.
Well, that's your opinion. I think it was great. I think it was the right choice for me.
I think it's foolish.
This is a losing
That's your
battle
opinion.
on both sides.
Is everything okay in there? You hear a different voice. And then from around the corner, you see a familiar face that was at the
Gothmog.
Yes.
Oh, look,
Jathal.
Whom?
Jathal.
I didn't. Yoshimitsu did not meet this person.
I like the other art better. With the scythe.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sorry.
Bless you.
Kimiko, perhaps we should introduce them to the others.
What others?
And with that, you get around the corner, you'll see shadows of a couple of different figures.
Oh, please don't tell me this is the entire fucking... the other fucking party members.
No. Olga, you recognize one of these shadows. At first you might think it's one of Bond's shadows, because they're the people that come up in your life, but they step forward into the firelight. Olga, you see someone familiar to you. Someone that was... Remember how I asked each of you to kind of talk about characters that were in your life? Not all of you. Bond, I didn't. But Olga, one of the other sex workers that you were with, that you knew, or Orchid knew, and you knew, steps forward towards you. Solomon, you recognize a figure from your childhood and growing up of a traveling merchant that would come and go in your life, kind of that would travel all around, bring you different trinkets from far and away lands, and kind of taught you the trade. Ilva, a large, imposing figure, steps forward, and though you've never seen his face before, when you see his eyes, you immediately recognize them. as Rune's eyes. Like a family member of his. And Yoshi, you already had Kimiko here.
Ilva like freezes for a brief moment before her baring her teeth and snarling.
And with that, we will end session.
J. Falls Flowers